All right, so this is going to be video 2 for Power Automate. We're going to make some of the enhancements that we mentioned during the last video. So let's go ahead and open up our flow. All right, there we go. So if you recall, the last video was focused on taking the Microsoft form where I've been requesting resumes or really just responses from anyone that wants their resume reviewed. As you can see, we've had a few takers, which is great. We're going to enhance it to save me some time. So the way the process works now is someone will send a response to the form. I will then get an email, and then I'll have to kind of respond just requesting a resume. This is a good kind of filter for me because it's helped me have an opportunity to make sure that the response is from a human. I don't think any robots have contacted me yet, but I'm not sure that I would know. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to send myself a different email that will let me very quickly look at a response and then kind of confirm that we can now just kind of send the same email that I've been sending to every respondent, just requesting a copy of the email or resume. So here we go. I'm just going to copy from the email that we set up last time. You can see that you can copy and paste this dynamic content, which is great as long as you're pasting it into a place that has the same context as where you're copying it from. So for example, I couldn't paste this dynamic content at a step that precedes where that content originates. Yeah, that's really one caveat that I've got for that. Okay, so same template for the most part here, where you need to tell Power Automate who to send the email to, what the subject needs to be, but here's where it gets cool. You can give in the email these little choice buttons. So I'm just going to make my buttons called respond or let's call it file, just so that we kind of have a response. So then what I'll do is I'll add a condition. So a condition statement is kind of similar to an if statement in Excel, where you're going to assess the value of a field. Here we're going to assess the response, right? So we're getting input from the user, myself, by way of this email. So this condition is going to assess the selected option. So if the selected option is equal to, let's go ahead and look at what options we chose, because if you, like me, make typos from time to time, it's important to ensure that this is precise. Oh, look at there, typo. All right, respond. Okay, so if it's equal to respond, then we're going to see if we can plunk this in here. Okay, yeah, so this left side, as you would expect, if this condition returns true, then this yes path is what's going to happen. Otherwise, this no path is what's going to happen. And just so that I have something happening on the right side, I'm just going to use a control that's called terminate. And all this really means is that this is a signal to the flow to stop, right? The flow will naturally stop once it runs out of things to do, but this just feels better to me, right? And also I think if this goes down the path, meaning that if I select no on an email and I didn't have this terminate control here, I'm fairly certain that we would just see a succeed message in that history pane, which, you know, that may be the right value to designate, But I like this status of canceled, just so that I'll be able to see if I have chosen to cancel any of these. Okay, so some things to tweak here. We're not going to send the email to myself. We are going to copy me, just so that I know that my flow is working. So let's add some dynamic content here. This is going to be the email address. Nope. The email address of the respondent. Okay. Let me think. Ooh, that was interesting. Resume review. Please provide PDF resume. Okay, and let's see. Do I have a CC option? Oh, here we go. So I can CC myself, which I will. Yeah, from is fine. Let me go ahead and copy all of this content here so that I still get the initial content that we set up last time, so that I have enough information to make a informed decision on whether or not to request the PDF resume. And let's see. Thank you for your interest in our free resume review service. Please forward a PDF version of your current resume, and we will respond within 2 to 4 business days. Okay, so that's about as much as I'm going to have in this response. I could get fancy here and have a full kind of HTML signature, but I'm not going to do that, at least not for this video. I could have a custom send as email address, which I won't. And then I could have a custom reply to, which maybe I'll do that when we want to automate the next step in this process. All right, well, I think that's all I wanted to do for this video at least. So let's go ahead and hit save. Okay, looks like it's saved. Ooh, so how do we test it? Okay, well, I think to test it, I'm going to have to respond to the form. So here's our form. Let's see. Go ahead and put in a different email address just so that I'm not sending 2 emails to the same place. Yeah, I'm gonna stick with my previous answers. And then, yeah, let's go ahead and put this on here just to test to make sure it comes through correctly. Feel free to call me. I probably won't answer, or maybe I will, and we'll have a great chat. All right, so that has been submitted. Let's go ahead and see here if it's already picked it up. Look at that. Oh, it's Groundhog's Day. I forgot about that. I'm not sure if I hope he sees a shadow or not. Maybe. Oh, it's running, and it's just, yeah, it's waiting for me to respond to the email. So let me open that. Okay, so here is the email. Ooh, look at this. We have a nice, really kind of a response card up here. That's nice. And then we have the full kind of HTML response here. So I really like the email with choices or options action. So just so that we can test it, let's go ahead and click that. Okay, so my response has been successfully registered, which now tells me that our flow should be, oh, and you can click on it when it's in flight too. Oh, it's so fast that it's already finished. So you can see here we got the response, we got the details, we've seen all that stuff. So here's the email with options. You can see that it determined that I responded with the word respond. So the expression result, so the condition came back true, so it sent us an email. And then, yeah, I'm not going to do this in the video, but you can imagine that it would just stop and nothing else would happen. And here is the automated response. Look at this. Yeah, so that was pretty easy. Worked the first time. Yeah, that's all I wanted to show today in our second Power Automate video. Hopefully this was helpful to somebody. All right, have a good day.